Commuters are facing more misery in the south of England this morning as Southern Rail begins a three-day strike. It's part of that long-running dispute over driver-only trains, forcing many people into alternative travel plans. Well, normally a train between Brighton and London Victoria takes around an hour, but because of the strikes, coaches have been laid on, which has increased the journey time to around 3 hours. Let's speak to Joe Tidy. He's currently on the National Express coach from Brighton to London. Joe, it feels like you've been on that bus for an eternity. How are the commuters coping?
It does feel like that, yes. And actually it's going to be more like closer to 4 hours now, because we got some really bad traffic on the A23 just after Gatwick, which the driver tells me is because of the strike. In fact, let's have a little chat with the driver, Jed, who I'll try not to distract. Jed, how late do you think we're going to be into Victoria?
At the moment, I'm looking about an hour late.
About an hour late, right. And do you think that's because of the strikes?
It's definitely because of the strikes.
Yeah.
Normally we're on time on this duty.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's one of the knock-on effects, isn't it, of the rail strikes, is that more people take to their cars, which means that the roads look like this. We are now in Streatham, so still a long way out. What is it, 9:12 now? So I think it's going to be close to 10 o'clock, maybe after. And of course, there are people on this coach that have taken the coach deliberately to make sure that they aren't late for things, including I'm sat next to Peter. Now, Peter, you're visually impaired, severely visually impaired, and you're off to the eye hospital. How much of a disconvenience is the Southern Rail strike for you today?
Well, instead of catching a 7:30 train, I had to catch a 5 to 6 coach from Worthing. So that's one disadvantage. It meant, because I have a follow-up appointment tomorrow, I wouldn't be able to get home by rail. So I've had to go through coach, and fortunately National Express helped me out.
And you hopefully will make your appointment. I know that your hospital are very good at being flexible, but this isn't the first time it's affected you either, is it?
Oh no, it's not the first time, but we've got there somehow by hook or by crook. We haven't actually had to miss an appointment since November.
So you have missed appointments in the past because of the strike?
Yeah.
Well, today you're probably well aware of the different arguments that various people have been given, but today we've heard that Jeremy Corbyn, leader of the Labour Party, is saying that he will stand on the picket line with strikers, and on the other side of the coin you've got the Conservative government who are saying that they're taking the Southern Rail side of the argument, saying that this is completely unnecessary. Which one do you think is correct?
I think it's very sad that no one appears, by their body language or by what they say, appears to want to need an early resolvement of this dispute. I watched the programme last night on BBC One, and again, there seemed no real desire to seek a speedy solution, and there are people worse than me who are affected.
Well, thank you for talking to us, Peter. Yeah, there are indeed lots of people affected by this. I was speaking to a couple back on the back of the coach earlier on who were saying that they're looking at a 9-hour journey to get up to Manchester for a Man United game tonight, and that's if they can make their connection on the train to get up there. So that could be a day ruined for them, and hundreds of thousands of stories just like this, of course, on every day whenever there's a strike on Southern Rail. And there's no there's no end in sight for this. This is going to be the way it's going to go for a lot of people. National Express themselves have said that there are positives, that they've seen a 141% rise in the number of ticket sales just this week as people look for alternative means. But I'm sure these people would prefer to be on the quicker train.
Someone fast asleep in the background there. I don't blame them. 4 hours from London to Brighton. I think lots of time for a snooze. Thanks very much, Joe.